So hi, Stephanie. Thank you so much for coming on and having a chat about Healey and what you do. And I'm so interested because I want to find out all about frequencies, and I've basically been on a massive journey with all my health stuff. So I want to find out about all different healing modalities, acupuncture, frequency medicine, aromatherapy. Nothing's off the table, because in our journey to wellness, we have to look and seek everywhere, because sometimes we just don't get the answers from conventional medicine. So I just want to open the floor up to you and say welcome, thank you, and tell me a bit about what you do and about yourself.
Thank you, first of all, JC, for having me. Really appreciate it. How fun. I mean, it's so, you probably have to reel me in at some point, because I can talk about frequencies and energies all day
please
long.
do. Absolutely, please do. That's what you're here for, because there's so many people that don't understand about this, new medicine that's coming through, the bioenergetics. And I know you work with energy too in lots of different ways. So this is so interesting for people. So I don't need to rein you in. You go.
Well, first of all, I kind of see myself as an alchemist or an accelerator of human potential, and what that means for me is, I am not fixing anyone. I'm not healing anyone. I barely offer the tools that I have for people to use it as a portal to walk through so that they can find self-healing, right?
Yes.
And there are many ways of doing that. Just as you just said, there are so many different healing modalities. Yeah. And I find it's important to say that, it has to resonate with someone, right? So not everything fits everyone. That's first. And also, once we start talking about energies, it's a lifelong journey, where you dive deeper and deeper and peel like one layer after the next. And
like an onion.
Yeah, so it's not something that goes like boom, because the more we open ourselves up to go deeper and deeper and deeper and have a more broader, or more, not broader, more precise understanding of who we truly are, then it's like endless, right? So it's an infinite journey to draw within and to really understand how powerful we as souls are. And
that's exactly it. I'm really sorry, but I just had to jump in. That's why I wanted to do this channel, because of going from endless things and being so frustrated and feeling so helpless and so hopeless, and then just thinking there's got to be more than this. And then we realize how much power we have in our own hands, that we just, once we take responsibility for our own health. And this is why I want to do this, because through my journey, I want to open things up for people that may not think, and it's all very well, you have people saying, oh yeah, do this, do that. But when someone's going through lots of health things and then trying things out and saying, well, this resonated, this has helped me, so take it if you want, don't take it, that's why I think it's important to just open this discussion up as we're moving into all these crazy new times that we're in. And we just need to don't outsource our health anymore, take responsibility for our health.
Yes, and thank you for saying that. That's exactly the point, I think all of what is happening right now, especially, is around an invitation to claim your sovereignty, right? To really understand that we are souls that are having a human experience. It's not that we are human beings that are spiritual or not spiritual, right? If you think that way, you got it all twisted. We all are souls that are having this human experience, and in this human experience, we're here to learn certain lessons. And right now, the biggest invitation is to understand, or to really contemplate about what is your truth. And that's where, you asked about the Healey, and by the way, that is it. So it's a very small device. It's a quantum sensor. Okay.
That's so cool. It's so tiny, isn't it? It's so tiny.
It's very small. It's like half the size of like a cell phone. It's very
crazy. So powerful though. So so tell me what comes with it, and tell me, just give me an overview of however you want to do it.
Yes. So what I wanted to share about the Healey is it's a quantum sensor that allows us to come back into bioenergetic resonance. And for
Right.
those who don't know about energies or not that much about energies or how the quantum field works, let's just break it down a little bit. So
Yeah.
we are human beings, right? So that's it. That's
Yeah.
the bodysuit or the sacred vessel or however you want to call this thing, right?
Yes.
So that's like the densest. We have different bodies. That's the physical body. So it's the, the skin and the bones and whatever else,
Yes.
right? And so when we break this down, it comes to like a cellular level, and then it comes to molecule, and then it comes to anatomic particles. And underneath all that is energy, right?
Yes, of course.
So that's, for instance, we are no strangers to having little Zoom meetings these days,
Yeah.
or chime someone in with FaceTime, and we do this like on autopilot. But in essence, it's all energy, right? So we can connect with someone.
We do it externally.
Right.
And we don't think anything about it, but we have access to all of this internally. This connection.
Exactly. It's almost like, say, you were thinking about an old friend, and 5 minutes later, boom, this friend gives you a phone call.
All the time.
That's energy. That means like, the frequencies are now aligned so that connection could happen, and boom, you're talking.
That's what people call, it's such a different way of looking at things. That's what people call, coincidence, but what we call synchronicities. What we call synchronicities, because when you understand about energy, like, oh goodness, what did Nikola Tesla say? Sound, frequency, vibration, it's the key to the universe. And Einstein talked about frequency medicine being the future of medicines. These clever men understood these things, and we need to get back to this understanding again, don't we?
And so when we come to the point of wanting to manifest, let's just say optimal health into our life, right?
Yes.
We actually have to come into a frequency or vibration where that is possible. Of course, that comes also with soul aligned steps, meaning like if you have eaten junk food for 20 years and you expect that all of a sudden you're thriving in all areas of your life, that's probably not going to happen. So, but talking about frequencies again, of course, food also has energy and frequencies, right? So if you eat junk food, that's a lower vibration.
Exactly.
If you eat like a lot of veggies and, grow your own food or whatever, that has a much higher frequency. Or if you have water and you pray to your water, you bless it with your breath.
That's so interesting you said that. Sorry to jump in, but you just mentioning the water, because on the post that I put up talking about introducing your interview, Dr. Emoto's work with the water crystals. I know this is not about the Healey, but it's, when you pray to the water, the crystals come into some beautiful geometric patterns, and then the words hate and war completely. We're 60% water, so
exactly. It fits in perfectly, because what happens when you do that is you're raising the vibration of the water that you are ingesting, and that then means whatever you're ingesting, we are more than 70-something% of water. That has a direct impact onto our field, right, onto our vessel. So coming back to the energies, then again, that is all the same, right?
Yeah, it's all part of it.
And the way the Healey works is, and there are different levels, but one of the levels of the Healey, it's called the resonance. And what you can do with the resonance, you are scanning somebody's field. So say I would do a session with you, and we would set an intention, say, for optimal health. I can now go, or the Healey will detect what of the over 144,000 frequencies that this device holds in over 100 programs or 120 programs is in most resonance with you, so that you can come to a place of wholeness and bioenergetic resonance. And in that moment, the body can start self-healing. And that is what I wanted to say earlier. And that is why I'm so passionate about this. When we allow ourselves to truly understand what we need, that means like what kind of programs are in most resonance, what kind of frequencies do I need to feed myself? say I can't sleep, there are sleep programs so that I can actually be
Yeah.
more alert when I wake up. When I'm more alert when I wake up, then I have more clarity. When I have more clarity, I'm more productive. If I'm more productive, I'm thriving more. Everything goes more with ease and grace, right?
Yeah.
And when that happens and we allow ourselves to come into a place of wholeness, into sovereignty, that is what I find the most important aspect of it all. When we are in sovereignty, we walk our own true path.
Yes,
That's
exactly right.
And that means nobody other than myself will know what is best for me. And
that's so important. That's so important. So, because we're taught the opposite. We're taught the opposite, to listen to everyone else all the time. Even though inside we're like, I'm not, this doesn't feel good. We'll still give our power up and go, oh, well, they know more than me.
And so in essence, what this device allows you is to get to know yourself better, to thrive in all areas of your life, and to then really walk your own true path and be in sovereignty. And that means you are no longer influenced on any outside forces, nor are you giving away your power. And when that is the case, you are actually thriving. And when you thrive, you are physically holding more light. And when you hold more light, you attract that which you wish to see in your life.
Yeah.
And it has a ripple effect. You're actually rippling out. It rubs off on others. And when it rubs off on others, you are inviting, inspiring, and motivating others to do the same. And that doesn't necessarily mean they all have to get a Healey. I mean, it would be nice.
You can do it yourself, but you're saying you work with the Healey. So once you've had it for a while, you intuit, you work intuitively with, and that's the best course of action with it. Not just kind of firing out frequencies and not kind of thinking what you're doing with it. It works so much better when you're actually kind of having an intention, understanding the programs and what you feel like you need.
Yes, I mean, I think that's true for everything we do, right? I mean, there are a lot of devices, a lot of gadgets, I mean, not just in the health industry in general, out there, that people just use mechanically without ever using their brain again. For me, having the Healey allows you to form this really beautiful sacred relationship where you see different parts that you may have not thought about will be revealed to you, and you can actually do something with this information. That's where this play comes in, where you are not just using it as a little device. You are using it in a sacred way. You're forming a relationship with it, and that's why I love it so much about it. And I do want to also say a medical disclaimer, because
I was going to ask you about that. Yes.
So I mean, there are different medical disclaimers whether you're in Europe or the US. And there's at times it's approved as a FDA medically approved device. But what it is approved to support alleviating pain and things like depression, etc. It is. We cannot claim it heals, but
I understand.
but it brings you to bioenergetic resonance so that your body can do the self-healing.
So it brings you to balance so you can heal yourself. So we're not claiming that this is going to cure all your diseases. It brings you into balance and make you more regenerative to heal yourself. Basically. Perfect. So we had a little session, and I must say we had like a kind of pre-interview session yesterday. You fired off some things to me. We set the intention of, it was I am health and I am truth, because that felt like it was a really good thing to do. And also you brought up for me that I didn't, wasn't sleeping so well, which was true. And last night I fell asleep before 12, which never happens because I have a lot of discomfort. And so I'm really happy to say thank you. I had a lovely sleep. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff going on health-wise. I did wake up and I was drenched in sweat. So it felt like some things were being worked out in my body. So I had a great sleep. I woke up and that was really unusual. I was really kind of sweaty down my back. But that just made me think that stuff was happening in my body. But I slept beautifully. So that was really, really good. Thank you for that.
You're so welcome. And that's the beauty of it. You know, I mean, yes, I've been giving a lot of distance sessions so that people get a taste of how it actually works. And a lot of people I don't really know that well, you know, and that's beautiful, because when we do the scan and things come up that I could personally not really know. And it's nice when people can really see themselves in that. And what I also say, sometimes, you know, programs will show up that people may not resonate with in the instant. However, I always say, let it just sit and observe, right? Because that is the whole point of getting to know yourself better. I mean,
because some things you don't realize at the time. Sometimes it's in your field, you don't actually know, and then you're like, oh, actually.
Or something from way back then that may have not been fully integrated or dissolved or digested or whatever, right? Or something new that comes up that may not, you know, ring true in the moment. But then once you connect the dots, it's like, oh my God, yes. That makes total sense.
Yeah, I know, it happens all the time. Let me just ask, because with this channel I talk about addiction and like coming through addiction and abuse, you know, like child abuse, child trauma, and just things that we hold on to that really damage our physical, emotional, everything, because there's no separation. It's all, once it's in there, you know, it can be causing problems for a long time. So have you worked with anyone using the Healey, because you said it's like for depression, and that kind of links in to the same thing. So would you, if someone approached you, would you work with them under those, with those kind of circumstances as a support with other things?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, first of all, I have personally not worked with someone, you know, with like addiction or something at the moment, although I know of people who are working with their Healey on their addictions. You know, everything from food addiction and, you know.
Everything. Everyone's addicted to something.
Exactly. You know, so yes, there are definitely programs for that in there.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Perfect.
The way I see it, absolutely the Healey can support you on that path, because what happens is when we feed ourselves like frequency of caring, and, you know, when we say strengthen our heart chakra and our crown chakra and all in those, all these different ways where we can support ourselves to find inner beauty and inner strength.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Then once we see that we are valuable, we are worthy, we are lovable, you know, then we can break free. We break free from those, you know, limiting beliefs, blockages, addictions,
and patterns.
Because
that we keep seem to play out over and over again until you start feeling that in yourself. Then you're going to keep.
Why do we have addictions? It's often to fill a void.
Yeah. Of course.
Right. So, and once you understand that there's no void to be filled, then you come back to a place of wholeness. And when you're coming back to a place of wholeness and understanding how truly sacred and precious this human life or this human experience truly is, then you will more and more place emphasis on feeding yourself the most beautiful, you know, nutritions, of feeding yourself with the most beautiful self-talk, of surrounding yourself with people that are positive, of really cleansing yourself from all the things that are not in the highest. That is just a natural byproduct of what happens when you take this journey seriously.
It's I sort of came to this journey like from frustrations and just not wanting things to carry on, and I really started simply just with gratitude, just with like I was like laying in just in a horrible situation, just being like starting off with I'm grateful for my toast. I just started that very small ball rolling, and it just rolled from there, and I was like wow, like things came to me. I felt better just by resonating with the frequency of, you know, with gratitude, just from so it just shows how powerful this work is. And just this, well, we say a small thing, gratitude is not a small thing, it's everything.
It's huge. Everything. If you can find gratitude, there's this beautiful practice, I don't know whether you were part of that, but I had done like a 28-day gratitude journey, and it's by the book of Rhonda Byrne, The Magic. actually a really
Okay.
beautiful book where you every day you focus on a different aspect, but it's like where you get up in the morning and you write down 10 things that you're grateful
Yes.
about. And it
Yeah.
expands a little bit on that. But the
Yeah.
concept is this, that the more we can see the beauty that surrounds us,
Yeah.
the more we are rising our frequency, the more we are
Exactly.
rising our frequency, the more we are thriving. Right?
It's so true. It's so true. Oh, also, let me know. I want to put that book we've just discussed. I'll put that in the links in the comments if anyone interested. But
yeah,
it is so true. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'm always grateful for 3 things. Then I allow abundance. And I go, I welcome abundance. I remove any blocks. So this
yeah.
is something that's grown.
I
You know,
have
and
one
it's
thing
just,
I wanted to add that now where you bring this up, and I think that might be important for people to hear that are not so familiar with how the quantum field works. You know, so that's
yes,
very general, aside from like Healey or no Healey. That's just
yeah,
the way the quantum field works. So when we say would like to change our life in
yeah,
whatever part, right? Maybe it is losing weight, maybe it is to move into a different area, or maybe it is to get another job, or whatever it is, right?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
attract the perfect beloved. We have to start setting an intention. An intention is that which we are placing attention to. That
yes,
is, rather than thinking all day about that what you don't want anymore,
yeah.
you have to start thinking about
What
what
you
you
do.
want, right?
It
Because
makes
that's
so
what
much sense, doesn't it? It makes so much sense.
that's the tricky thing that a lot of people don't
I know.
understand. So when
Yeah,
you think about, oh my God, you know, I don't really like this body, I just hate how it feels, and da 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 yada yada. This body cannot feel loved. Yeah. Instead, when I think about, oh, I am in optimal health, I am in my optimal weight, the
yeah,
body would slowly but steadily come back to its natural weight, its natural health. But
yeah,
we have to really focus on that which is of the higher frequency. That is super important. And
yeah,
then really visualize it in as much detail as you can and
yeah.
feel it. Because
Yes,
once we combine feelings with our visions, then,
yes.
I mean, magic happens. Because
So
then
powerful.
the mind does not distinguish between what is our current reality and that which we want to manifest. You can
Absolutely.
jump timelines just like this, because
Yeah,
everything that we are envisioning is already in existence. You know,
yes.
people think we have the past, we have the future, it's the present. No, it's all, we live in this parallel universe where everything happens now.
Yeah.
So that
In the
means
now, in the moment, in
exactly.
the
So
present.
if you see the most beautiful, thriving, blissful future where your body is in optimal health, where you have like the most, you know, gorgeous beloved next to you, live in this beautiful area that you always dreamt of, this is
Yeah.
accessible.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
is. It's just we've got our minds. Our minds get in the way, and this is what happens. We hold on to trauma. It's just learnt patterns. It's just habitual patterns we've got so used to. We've got addicted to suffering, and
Yeah.
you know, with everything we hold on to it because it's familiar. We know it. So when we're making this shift, we have to really focus with our feeling and our intention to move forward. Because we don't have the feeling that goes with it. It's just
Yeah.
thoughts. We have to resonate with that
But
frequency
then
of
also, you know, on this path of healing, a lot of people keep contemplating about the trauma that they have experienced.
yeah.
And what happens is, yes, of course, we need to feel it in order to release it, because often these traumatic experiences, they are stored on a cellular level, right? And
Yes.
there are ways how, of course, you know, we can liberate ourselves from those shackles, so to speak. But what
Yeah.
happens when we continue thinking about those traumatic experiences in the mind, in our nervous system, we are creating new neural pathways with every
Yeah.
thought that we are thinking.
So you're
That is,
feeding it, basically. You're still
yes,
feeding it and creating that same
yes,
thing
you're
again.
creating a super highway, right? If
Yeah.
you continue thinking about the trauma, it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, versus when you now declare from a soul space, this is actually no longer my reality,
Yeah.
this is my new reality, whatever you are focusing on, and you
Yeah.
continue thinking that and visualizing that and feeling that, that also creates a new neural pathway. And the
But you have to make it a habit, don't you? You have to make that a habit. You can't just have one thought and then go, oh, why has that not happened?
No.
You have to make it a habit to keep thinking about that.
Exactly.
So would you say the Healey can, you know, because obviously we have the quantum field, we have energy, vibrations, frequency. It really does, it seems to me what you told me, and I really want to get involved in it, it really does complement all of this work. What you do, it really does seem to complement it.
Yes. I mean, it does complement. What I feel about it is, well, first of all, I got it for myself, right? Because I mean, I know I've been studying the quantum field for a while now, so I know how energy works, and that was really appealing to me, to just really dig deeper but rise higher and thrive even more, right? And radiate more. But also I think it's applicable to whatever profession you have. You can deepen that experience for your clients or for the environment that you are in. And it also has a business component for those who want to work it. And that is like, it works a little bit like it's what they call it, social sharing model or social selling model. And what it is really, it's all about sharing and inviting, because this is, I don't need to convince anyone around me, right? It either resonates or it doesn't resonate. So I'm sharing a tool with you and I show you the potential that it holds. And then if that resonates with you, it's a no-brainer that you would want your own, right?
Exactly.
And likewise, you're then sharing with friends, and some will resonate and others won't resonate. But it's a huge movement. And so, you know, that's kind of how it works. And there are many different ways you can approach it, but that's the simplest way to explain it. You know,
so basically, sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say, because we've got it there. We've seen how small it is. So how does it actually work? Do you have electrodes or something? You can set, don't drop it.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I just have the electrode in the other room. Yes, there are some wristbands, and there are some cables that go into the Healey.
Right.
And that's one way to work them. So you have apps on your phone, you know, so on your smartphone, there are different apps that you can work. And I'm just going to pull up one.
So there's a few different devices too, isn't there? You start off with,
it's the same device always.
Right, yeah.
And it's just a question of how many programs are being unlocked depending on the level of the Healey that you own.
Yeah, that's it.
And so, for instance, let me just pull it up.
Yeah, I've had 2 distant sessions now, and they both were really incredible. Just even when the things are being sent through, I know you say everyone has different reactions, but I could sense colors and just, it was just very, really interesting sensation. So
on the phone, I mean, that's one app, right? So those are the so-called gold programs. And then you just select whichever program you want, and then it will tell you where the electrodes go. So those are the wristbands. It's very self-explanatory.
Yeah,
really
easy.
Yes, and then you kind of load the program onto the Healey.
Okay.
And now you have the plus and the minus sign here, and that allows you to increase or decrease the intensity of the microcurrents. That is when you have it connected to the wristbands.
Right. I heard this before. I just wanted to ask you, just when people get their Healeys or they're trying out, should you start with lower intensities?
Yes. Yeah. Lower is always more. You know, I mean, we are again working in the quantum field. Lower is always more. And so the way to work this, one is to use the electrodes. Right. That means it's microcurrents that go directly into the cell membranes.
Okay, that sounds good.
And the other one is to use frequencies, which is you're sending frequencies into somebody's information field.
Right. Okay, that's what that's with distance stuff.
That's what you do when you do distance session. Exactly.
Yes,
so it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I mean,
still is effective though. It makes no difference. It's just it works exactly the same, just in a different, a different way, basically. Mm-hmm. Oh, so it's so, I've been so interested in frequency medicine for such a long time, and this has been invented. It's not, just, we should probably give a little bit of background just on who, the kind of quality of the people that, brought this out. It's Marcus Schmeik.
Marcus Schmeeker is his name.
Schmeeker, sorry.
Marcus Schmeeker is the inventor. He is actually a genius. I mean, he actually has been a monk for several years, and he has always been fascinated in the quantum field, and he's like a scientist, physicist, and all these beautiful things.
I know, it's amazing.
And so in like 15 years ago, he invented the time weaver frequencies, and that is like the more complex technology that you have to really be a therapist in order to operate these systems and to send proper frequencies to someone. But then in 2017 they launched the Healey, and the reason for that was because they truly wanted everyone to be able to have a tool like that, and they wanted it to be user friendly, right? I mean, obviously you have to have a whole computer and all these different devices. That's not user friendly for someone who knows nothing about energy, right?
Well, exactly.
And it's also not very practical. I mean, it's amazing in and of itself, but it's not for everyone.
It's not like we can't get it out to as many people as possible, so everyone can have an experience with it, basically.
And so 2017, the Healey was launched. It's now available in over 40 countries.
Wow.
And for the last 1.5 years only, it has become this social sharing model, meaning, where it has the aspect of a residual income if you choose to do so. You can also just be a customer, but I always say, like, even if you don't work as a business, if you're excited about the Healey, why wouldn't you want to have a little commission just when you're excitedly sharing?
Well, that's always nice, and that's why since we've talked and everything, and I really want to get involved in. I've been talking to you about it because I've had a great experience with it, and I've been looking for something like this for years, and not to replace, like we've talked before, to kind of bring everything that helps and resonates with us, like on our journey to wellness. And that's why I wanted to do this, because I really want to get involved with it, because it really, really resonates with me. So I'm glad that we've been able to.
Now actually is the perfect time to get involved, because they just announced a global promotion. And I mean, it couldn't be coming at a better time.
Synchronicity.
I know.
So what's the promotion then? Tell me.
So the promotion is that you can save between $500 and $1,000, depending on the level that you're getting. But it is really awe-inspiring. And what I feel is, if somebody is, even people listening right now or listening once it goes live, and you are curious about Healey, I really, really encourage you to contact JC or contact me, however you want to do it.
We'll put all the links down underneath Stephanie's page and everything. We'll sort all that out, and the link to the book.
And I would be happy to give a free distance session. I mean, for those who are actually really interested.
Definitely.
Some people want to have a taste of what it looks like, how it feels like, or how it works.
I think everyone wants that. So, like, if there is anyone that are really, really interested in this and they want to just give it a try, have an experience with it, and just go open themselves out to more possibilities, because we have to do this. If we want our journey to wellness, we have to start looking in places that we don't maybe haven't looked in before. So Stephanie's an amazing lady. I've had the pleasure to know her for a little bit. So she's so grounded, centered, and so aligned to the sacred. So I'm really, really blessed to have her on. So thank you so much for explaining about all that. And I will put all the links down, and also with your website and things. Would you like to just quickly talk about what you do aside from the Healey, so I can put the link to your website also?
Sure, I can do that. So as I said, I'm an alchemist, and what that means is I really blend the modalities that I have learned over lifetimes together. I see myself as a medicine woman, so I really like to utilize rituals and ceremonies, and I'm a quantum healer, so I do that, and a coach. So I like to I have several programs, that really help people to fully step into their full embodiment, to
Yes,
really shine and thrive. Because one of my greatest missions in this lifetime is to help people to stand in their truth. And you know, the
absolutely.
vision that I hold is, and that's actually my life's purpose, is
Yeah.
to be the bridge for
Yes.
people
Yes.
to really rise and shine. And also, a very specific focus for me is to help to preserve and protect ancestral heritage for indigenous communities
Absolutely.
around the world. But that also includes, it really includes all people.
Yeah.
How do we come from the 3D into the 5D with most grace and ease? You know, so
Yes.
that is what my life's mission is. And I'm using the modalities I have learned over many
And you
lifetimes
do it,
to do
and
that.
you do it so beautifully, because I've had the pleasure to work with you aside from the Healey, and the woman has magic in her. So I think you should give her a try, because she's amazing. Listen, darling, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I really, really appreciate it. So I'm going to put all the links down, everyone. Thank you to Stephanie. So please, you know, take advantage of this opportunity with the Healey, because I really would. It's really worth looking into. So I'll put all the links there. Thanks for watching, and I will announce the other video soon.
Thank everyone for
Bye.
watching. Thank you for having me, JC.
My pleasure, darling.
Bye.
Bye.